a stream. Alright, so I know I actually meant to go look some stuff up. Not about the game itself, like spoilers, but I know there are settings that make this go a little smoother. Like, I know we can skip certain things, like text that we haven't seen before. After choices? And now I don't know exactly what this implies. I don't want to skip unseen text. I want to skip seen text. Oh, I see. So I click that and it won't skip unseen text. So I can just like button mash the skip button as hard as I want. And it won't cheat me out of things I haven't seen. Okay, I think I've got that. I don't know what skip after choices means. Welcome, Shadow Agent! It happened. The thing. It happened. Anyway, it's good to see you in chat today. Welcome back to the chaos. I'm just kind of setting up so that I can skip through dialogue without missing things, I think. Let's leave it like that for now. And we'll load game. And we'll let's get started. How are you today, by the way, Shadow Agent? Are you doing good? So I wanna just actually what I wanna do is move my avatar a little bit more to the corner because I'm kind of covering options here a little. So let me just take a step to the side. There we go. Alright, so I'm gonna continue to just kind of go through this a little. Meanwhile, I've always walked to school alone. That's different, isn't it? I always tell myself it's about time I meet. Yeah, it's gotten weird. The thing happened. Like, I almost don't want to say it. I guess there aren't really any viewers watching who haven't seen it. Yeah. We left Sayuri hanging. Haha. Funny joke, Monica. I'm coming for you. But yeah. Trying to meet some girls or something. No motivation to join any clubs. Perfectly content. Spending free time on games and anime. That sounds all familiar. Oh, I get it. I clicked her glitched name and now it's completely removed her. Well, I guess let's just skip. Ugh! Wow, I think that was a mistake. I have no idea what I just did. I think I broke the game, but we unlocked a poem, so that's no, we're not reloading this. This is the route we've chosen. I am owning my mistakes, unlike in Half-Life, where I really don't. Besides, we unlocked a poem. That's good, right? That's a silver lining and all. I'm just gonna be bitter through the entire rest of the playthrough. Like, instead of like mysterious midnight stream or whatever I call it, it's just gonna be like Haya is salty for 2 hours straight. That's the new name of this stream. Alright, sorry. Let's look at this poem. Oh. So anyway, if you are watching and you haven't got the clue yet, this This is not a cute visual novel. Anyway, blah. Today I cut my skin open for the first time. It was exhilarating. I think I understand how blank feels now. I'm supposed to be the responsible one, though, so I don't think I'll be doing it again, unless I decide to kill myself. I left a momentum of the occasion below. So this is why there's a whole bunch of disclaimers about why you really shouldn't play this game if you're emotionally disturbed. I mean, they're really not joking. I think it would bother me less if it was just dumb jump scares. There's actually quite a bit of emotional depth in this. So I don't think we should skip things anymore. Well, let's save. And let's change our settings. So I think this did select skip unseen text, which we don't want. We want to see the unseen text. I have not checked the game files yet. I made specific note in the last playthrough of the exception and the number it was on and where it was, but I haven't looked at that yet. I'm gonna just make another save. Why not? Heck. We've got like 9 pages of this anyway. Alright, so let's load that one. No, we want to load it. Let's go return. Okay. Yeah, I actually intended to write down what everything was, and then I honestly forgot. Now I'm wondering if I should do that now. You're supposed to check your files. Let's see, where do I even save these files? This might be... See, this is why I meant to, like, kind of poke around stuff and see... It's not there, is it? Here? And there's my program files for Steam. I think that might be something I need to do at a later point. Oh no, here we go. Run P. I don't remember what the file was, though. So I would just be poking around in here. I'm genuinely kind of worried I would break something. It's not that. Alright. Yeah, I'm gonna leave that alone for now, but I lied about owning my mistakes. We're gonna reload. We'll reload. We'll go from here. Yes. Let's go back into settings. Alright, that is unchecked this time. Return. Is it just the same? It's the same. Alright, so I guess it didn't matter what I did there. Why not? Should say DXE or Happy Thoughts? Alright, sorry. Back to the beginning. Let me get back to where I was. Oh. Yeah, there's a PNG file. Oh, well, that's a thing. Orion Burke, hello! I have been awful about keeping up with my Half-Life streams. Welcome to Doki Literature Club. So I can see this PNG that's just come up. I would kind of rather not mess around with OBS to see if I can get it to show it to everyone else. Yes, I did find it, Shadow Agent. That's a thing. But yeah, I found it. There it is. It's all good. I watched one of the old ones. Went back to work this week though, so I've been missing your live streams. Yeah, my streaming schedule is still all really late streams. I think I stream Half-Life tomorrow. And I'm gonna try really hard not to mess that one up. But we are getting into, like, I almost wonder if I should just do one long stream and just try to get through it. But I think I do have quite a bit still left. I think the last stream I did, I'm so sorry if that's the one you watched. Because I realize now that I, like, messed around for like an hour because I didn't want to kill friendly enemies. Because I had heard that there were friendly enemies at some point. But it turns out that they're only friendly in a very small portion of the game, and I really did just need to stab them with bullets. I was correct. You just stab them with bullets. Okay, so back to the game at hand. I guess the point of all that talking is to say it's okay that you've been missing my live streams, because I have as well! Hey! Anyway. Shadow Agent, so I guess we're gonna... kill friendly, yes. I guess let's try to romance Yuri. Is there an optimal way to go through this? Which of our 2 remaining waifus? I watched you try to kill the giant hornet dude for— You did! That's all that stream was. It's terrible, and I'm sorry. The awful part is, like, it didn't even take me an hour. That at least would have probably been entertaining. So, like, you watched me reload and fail to kill him for an hour. Go Yuri? Okay, we'll go Yuri. Scars. Shadow Agent says scars. That seems correct. I think Yuri's a little easier because you just pick the— You pick the fancy words. You pick the big words. Infallible. Yeah, we're getting this. Judgment, disown, color, promise, fickle, vacation, smile. I want to say probably judgment. Or extraordinary, maybe. I'm gonna try judgment. And then I wait awkwardly for a couple seconds, because I know there's a delay between me and chat. Yeah, I will see you tomorrow. Thank you for stopping in, and I'm sorry that I've been kind of slacking off on the Half-Life streams. I'll get back on that. But yeah, have a good evening. Shadow Agent echoes judgment, so we'll do judgment. There we go. I don't think this is for either of them. I want to say imagination is probably Natsuki. Memories or romance might be... No, I bet romance is Natsuki. Let's try memories. Ah! Fail! Oh no, I saw it too late. It was supposed to be judgment. No, it was— the last one was judgment. What am I talking about? Tragedy? There we go. So we have 5. We just need 11. I think atone is probably Yuri. That seems like a Yuri word. Yeah. So 6. We've only missed 1 so far. Vertigo seems like a Yuri word. Yeah. Disaster seems like a Yuri word. Yes. Unrestrained, maybe? Alright. Probably also contamination. If I get this right, it's the last one that we absolutely have to get. Alright, okay, so I can afford to make mistakes now. Although I'm not gonna, like, try to. I'll still try to do it properly. Ambient seems like a Yuri word. Intellectual also seems like a Yuri word. Lollipop does not. Lollipop seems very much like a Natsuki word. Agonizing seems like a Yuri word. I don't even know what this means, but I bet Yuri does. That's another thing I've been meaning to look up. How I should be playing this game? Not for like spoilers, but just what I should be doing. And also what that word means. There's a mental note for myself when I'm reviewing my bod. Go look that up. Crimson is probably a Yuri word. Yuri seems to like space, so probably Starscape. Probably Eternity. Is her face doing something different now? I've been darting glances at chat, so not really paying attention. Now I only have one more word to look like pay attention to her face. And like, watch me get it wrong. Watch me get it wrong now. Adventure, precious sparkle, spinning. Spinning, depression, uncanny. Uncanny is a Yuri word. No, it seems fine. I must have just seen something strange out of the corner of my eye. Probably. I'm sure that's all it was. Oh, one more word. Okay, sensation? Okay, yeah, that seems normal. Alright, so let's not skip. All of this seems pretty normal. Let's do a save there. Let's do a save. Yes. Okay. Okay, Yuri. Making you dive headfirst. Like, I'm not even paying attention to the words anymore. Like, I've already read this. I'm just like waiting for the things to happen. No! I don't know why that scared me, but it genuinely did. Alright. Okay, it's fine. Like he deserves any slack. You already had to be dragged here by Monica. I don't know if you plan to just come here and hang out or whatever. Don't take this seriously. You won't see the end of it. That's... Hi, Monica. Why are you in front of the words? I am also in front of the words. Are you at where I am at? Because that is an awful thought. Natsuki finds herself stuck between saying Monica and manga. Manga is literature. Natsuki's over here with like her Oyasumi Pun Pun manga, just feeling real put down right now. Swiftly defeated, Natsuki plops back into her seat. Sorry, Hyacinth. We'll make sure to put your comfort first, okay? Yuri shoots Natsuki with a disappointing glance. Anyway. Tear is here! Hello! Tear is here. I am not sure if I have seen you in this stream before. I don't think so. So I'm just gonna give you the disclaimer I try to give everyone who pops in while I'm playing this game. This game it's got a whole bunch of disclaimers on it. It's a horror game. Bad things happen. And things are getting weird. Yeah, no, I remember. I think we talked on Annie's channel. And I am very glad to see you here. I just don't want you to be watching and like, oh look, the cute anime girls, and then it's not cute anime girls. They lied, Tears here. They lied. I'm very familiar with this game. I'm just here in support. Oh, thank you. Thank you for the support. Yeah, I'm pretty sure everyone on the entire internet knows what happens in this game besides me. That has been the experience, but I still feel like I should warn people. I really don't want anyone to come in and, see something that ruins their night or makes them feel bad. Yeah, I was saying earlier it would almost be easier if it was just like dumb jump scares, but there are like genuinely heavy things in this game. So I feel like the warning is appropriate. But yes, I'm very happy to see you. Thank you for coming in and saying hello. This game especially is nice to have people active in chat. Shadow Agent says it's a cute game. And Shadow Agent isn't wrong. But Shadow Agent isn't completely correct either. Now that you're in the club and all, perhaps you might have interest in picking up a book to read? Oh, that's right! She buys me a book. Well, I can't really say no either way. Like you said, I'm in this club now. Alright, have fun walking the dog. Please give the dog extra scritchies from me. I'm gonna live vicariously through the dog walking. It only feels right for me to do something like that, if you ask. Wait. I didn't mean it like that. If you don't really want to, then forget I said anything, I guess. No, it's not that. I want to try to be part of this. The classroom's tilting, isn't it? I only just realized that. Now that I've noticed it, it's genuinely a little unsettling. The music is also hitting, like, incorrect notes. Yeah, it's a Dutch angle. It's a Dutch angle, but Yuri isn't, so it's kinda throwing me off a little. Like, if I pay attention to it too much, it honestly makes me slightly nauseous, which is probably the intended effect. Yuri is also slightly angled? I honestly can't tell. But you're probably correct. No, you're right, aren't you? Are you sure? It just feels like... This is no longer like cute visual simulator. This is like help Haya figure out the weird details. Well, as vice president and all... Oh! It did skip dialogue. Unless this is the first time it's being brought up. In the last playthrough, Sayori was vice president. I guess this time Yuri is? It hasn't even gotten that. Oh great, it gets worse! Even better! I'm hyped, let's do this, it's gonna be awful! Then I should help you get started on something you might like. Yuri reaches into her bag and pulls out a book. I didn't want you to feel left out, so I picked out a book that I thought you might enjoy. It's a short read, so it should keep your attention even if you don't usually read. Because Yuri knows that IRL, I am illiterate. I'm not actually illiterate, it just seems like it. And we could, you know, discuss it if you wanted. How is this girl accidentally being so cute? She is very cute. Even with everything happening, Yuri is still very cute. She even picked out a book she thinks I'll like, despite me not reading much. Yuri, thank you. I'll definitely read this. I enthusiastically take the book. Phew. Well, you can read it at your own pace. I look forward to hearing what you think. Now that everyone's settled in, I expect Monica to kick off some scheduled activities for the club. I'm trying to think of like what piece of like really nice literature is also really short, and I'm like, she just gave us her copy of Roadside Picnic. Yuri wants to go into the zone. Now that everyone's settled in, I expected Monica to kick off some scheduled activities for the club. But that doesn't seem to be the case. Yuri's face is already buried in a book. I can't help but notice her intense expression, like she was waiting for this chance. Meanwhile, the muse is doing it again. Natsuki is rummaging around in the closet. I'm really curious to talk to Yuri a little bit more. But at the same time, I would feel bad for distracting her from reading. I catch a glimpse of the cover of her book. It looks like the same book she lent to me. More than that, She seems to be on the first few pages. Oh, she wrote a book that we could read together. And that's why, like, so we can discuss what we think about it, like, on the same level as both having just experienced it. That's my theory, anyway. Ah, crap. Did she say crap? No, I said crap, because she noticed me looking. I think she noticed me looking at her. That would be kind of funny, though. Like, sweet, elegant Yuri is just like, shit. Which is a word I probably shouldn't say. Shadow Agent says, you're really not going to want to play this game in a few. Why do you do this, Shadow Agent? Why? I mean, I guess I'm doing this to myself, just by continuing to play. But I am curious about what happens. It would also be kind of funny if I just rage quit, though. Just like, Vtuber rage quits after Sayuri dies, this game sucks! Best girl denied. Yeah, I guess we will continue to romance the waifus and just see how bad it gets. Let's do this. I knew it was a horror game. I knew what I signed up for. Sort of. I'm complaining so much, and then the game I'm gonna play in this slot later is Outlast. I know that's gonna be so much worse. She sneaks another glance at me, and our eyes meet for a split second. But that only makes her hide her face deeper in her book. It's a very cute image. You just glance over, and she just, like, hides her face. It's very cute. Yuri is very accidentally cute. Sorry. Shadow Agent says you might want to cut it off, but it's going to be fun. Yeah, as much as I'm being, like, super salty about it, I am curious to see where this goes. I am impressed with what they're doing here. I was just spacing out. I mutter this, sensing I made her uncomfortable. Oh. It's fine. I was focused. Oh, if I was focused, then I probably wouldn't have noticed in the first place. But I'm just rereading this bit. Just rereading a bit of this, so... Okay, so she's just getting a refresher on the book she lent. That's the book you gave me, right? Mm-hmm. What is this? Why is this? Why would you do this, game? Oh, it's not gonna go back. Well, that's great. I just wanted to reread some of it. Okay, there we go. Not for any particular reason. Yuri, your model's bugging out, which I can relate to. Just curious, how come you have 2 copies of the same book? Ah, well, I stopped at the bookstore yesterday. Not that that's what I meant. I mean, I just happened to buy 2 of them. Ah, she doesn't want us to know she bought her... Wait, she doesn't want us to know that she bought us a gift. Ah, I see. You just accidentally bought 2. Alright, Yuri, it's okay. I won't press the point. There's something fairly obvious here that Yuri isn't telling me, but I decide to let it go. I'll definitely start reading it soon. I'm glad to hear. Once it starts to pick up, you might have a hard time putting it down. Just in my head, it's Roadside Picnic. That's what it is now. It's a very engaging and relatable story. Who are you relating to in it, though? Is that so? What's the story about, anyway? Well, I look at the cover of the book. The book is titled... Ah, okay, it's not. Headcanon destroyed. The book is titled Portrait of Markov. Is that a real book? Wait, we're doing a thing. We're just metagaming. I'm looking a thing up. Hold on. Just hold on, chat. Just bear with me for just like a second here. Because I meant to look this up before, and then I didn't. is called Portrait. I don't think this is a real book. There is a portrait of Markov on Wattpad, but I'm pretty sure it's written by the person who is a dev in this game. Okay, that's all I wanted to look into. Back to the game. There's an ominous looking eye on the front of the cover. On the front cover. Basically, it's about this religious camp that was turned into a human experiment prison. It's a Russian sleep experiment. And the people trapped there have this trait that turns them into killing machines that lust for blood. But the facility gets even worse, and they start selectively breeding people by cutting off their limbs. Wow, Yuri, are you okay? Are you okay? Aren't we in high school? Why are you reading this? And affixing them to... Oh, that might be a little bit of a spoiler. Anyway, I'm really into it. The book, I mean. Okay, Yuri. Tears here says, I have returned. Look, dude, I read some weird stuff in high school. I get it. I mean, to be fair. That is fair. That's probably a really good time, the best time, to experiment with, reading all kinds of different things. Yuri says she's into the reading, not the thing about the limbs. That's kind of dark, isn't it? Yeah, it is. Yuri made it sound like it was going to be a nice story, so that dark turn came out of nowhere. Ah. Are you not a fan of that sort of thing, Hyacinth? Apparently my character in game just likes anime and games, so I don't know, maybe. No, it's not that. I mean, I can definitely enjoy those kinds of stories, so don't worry. I hope so. What do you mean you hope so? Yeah, I totally forgot that Yuri is into those things. She's so shy and reclusive on the outside, but her mind seems to be completely different. It's just that this kind of story, it's the kind that challenges you to look at life from a strange new perspective. When horrible things happen, it's not just because someone wants to be evil. But because the world is full of horrible people and we're all worthless anyway. Thanks, Yuri. Thanks for that insight. And then suddenly, I'm rambling, aren't I? Not again. I'm sorry. Hey, don't apologize. Did my character in game even notice that? I don't think they did. I haven't lost interest in anything. Yeah, like, you're not gonna get told, like, yeah, it's human experimentation. I'm like, oh, I'm no longer interested. Actually, yeah, I can see that exact scenario going down. Like, no, you need to take this back. Well, I guess it's alright then. But I feel like I should let you know that I have this problem. When I let things like books and writing fill my thoughts... What? It was too fast for me to even read. Wait, okay, hold on. Settings. Is this fast or slow? Which is fast and which is slow? Let's just set it to the center and hope for the best. Kakaroto 2! Hello! Welcome to Doki Doki Literature Club, and I'm pretty sure we've already established that you know what's going on, so I'll spare you the disclaimer. I forget to pay attention to other people. Maud says she said something about her body, and I think I caught that. so I'm sorry if I end up saying something strange. And please stop me if I start talking too much. I feel like this is faster. Wait, hold on. We're gonna mess with settings real quick. So let's turn speed all the way there and see what that does. Right is faster? My rate or her rate? Okay, so yeah, we've got it on the right one. On the text speed bar. Okay. I really don't think you need to worry. Oh no, the text is super slow. That just means you're passionate about reading. The least I can do is listen. It's a literature club after all. Ah. Well, that's true. In fact, I might as well get started reading it, right? Okay, sure, yeah. You do that thing. Yes. I mean, you don't have to, but... what are you saying? Let me just get the book. I quickly retrieved the book that I had put into my bag. Alright. It's fine if I sit here, right? I slip into the seat next to Yuri's. Yeah. Are you sure? You seem a little apprehensive. I'm sorry. It's not that I don't want you to. It's just something I'm not very used to. She's so shy. I can kind of relate to that. That is reading in company with someone. I see. Well, just tell me if I end up distracting you or anything. Oh, alright. I open the book and start the prologue. Shadow Agent says this is getting fun. I soon understand what Yuri means about reading in company. It's as if I can feel her presence over my shoulder as I read. It's not a particularly bad thing. Maybe a little distracting, but the feeling is somewhat comforting. Yuri is in the corner of my eye. I realize that she's not actually looking at her own book. I glance over. It looks like she's reading from my book instead. Sorry. I was just bathing in the feeling of your body. Whoa. Alrighty then. Yuri, you really apologize a lot, don't you? I do? I don't really mean to. Sorry. I mean... Here, this should work, right? I slide my desk until it's up against Yuri's, then hold my book more between the two of them. I suppose so. Yuri timidly closes her own copy. Once we each lean in a little bit, our shoulders are almost touching. It feels like my left arm is in the way, so instead I use my right hand to hold the book open. I guess that makes it kind of difficult to turn the page. Here. Yuri takes her left arm and holds the left side of the book between her thumb and forefinger. I do the same with my right arm on the right side of the book. That way, I turn a page, and Yuri slides it under her thumb after it flips to her side. Very cozy. This would be very cozy if it wasn't, you know, everything else happening. But in holding it like this, we're huddled even closer together than before. It's actually kind of distracting me. It's as if I can feel the warmth of Yuri's face, and she's in the corner of my vision. Are you ready? Huh? To turn the page. Sorry. I think I got a bit distracted for a second. I glance over at Yuri's face again, and our eyes meet. I don't know how I'll be able to keep up with her. That's okay. You're not as used to reading, right? Dearest here says everything is totally cozy and nothing bad ever happened. I mean, I don't think the character in game recognizes that anything is happening at all. It's just cozy book times. I don't mind being patient if it takes you a bit longer. Just snuggle up and read a book. Just snuggling up with a good book about human experimentation, you know? It's the little things in life. It's probably the least I can do. Since you've been so patient with me. Yeah. Thanks. We continue reading. Yuri no longer asks me if I'm ready to turn the page. Instead, I just assume that she finishes the page before me, so I turn it by my own volition. We continue the first chapter in silence. You shouldn't read every single line, it's quite tiring. I don't really mind it though. It gives me a way to interact, I guess, with the game. And I've been doing these streams where I just read for like 2 hours solid, which isn't terrible. I do tend to start to mess up in the second hour. Even so, turning each page almost feels like an intimate exchange. My thumb letting go of the page, letting it flutter over to her side as she catches it under her own thumb. Hey Yuri. This might be a silly thought, but the main character kind of reminds me of you a little bit. Huh? Her face. No, I don't relate to this character at all. Definitely not. She definitely does. Really? Oh wait, didn't she say that she related to the character earlier? I'm pretty sure she did. I was just thinking, the way she second guesses things she says and all that. That's what you were talking about. As opposed to what? Sorry. I thought you meant something else about her. Something else? Never mind. We didn't even get that far yet. Yuri's very self-conscious about whatever it is. So I don't know why that came into my head. Yuri, are you feeling alright? Yuri's been a little fidgety ever since we started reading. You can rest if you're feeling sick or something. Your breathing is a little... My breathing? Yuri puts her hands on her chest as if to feel her heartbeat. I didn't even notice. Anyway, I'm fine. She's very cute. I just need some water. Alright, don't push yourself. Yuri stands up and practically rushes out of the classroom. What on earth was that about? Tyson? Did something happen just now? Huh? I have no idea. Yuri was acting a little strange, I guess. So you don't know anything? Sorry, I can't say I do. I guess this is what I get for skipping the dialogue. Even though I said not to skip parts I haven't heard before, I'm not sure exactly where I stand. This is only my second day in the club, so maybe it's kind of weird to be snuggling up against the vice president. Are you worried about her? Oh, no, not really. I was just making sure that you didn't do anything to her. Valid concern. No, nothing. Huh? Don't worry, I believe you, silly. Yuri just does this sometimes, so it's nothing alarming. Just runs out of the classroom? Alright, if you say so. Anyway, why don't we start with sharing our poems with each other? Huh? Shouldn't we wait for Yuri? Yeah, I mean, I wrote mine specifically for Yuri. Well, she might be a while. Oh. She might be a while, so I just figured we'd get started without her. Is that okay? Yeah, I was just asking. I stand up. It got weird. It's gonna get weird. I have a feeling it's gonna get weird. I make a mental note of where I left off in the book, then slip it back into my bag. Pop quiz for chat. How do you mark your book pages when you read them? Bookmark? Bending a page? Memorizing the page number? Hey, Pokemon boy! Welcome to chat, and welcome to Doki Doki Literature Club. As just a disclaimer I give, because I don't want anybody to be like, oh, hey, here's a cute anime thing that's happening that's cute. This is a horror game. Like, I don't even know exactly what's gonna happen, but, I would place to post-it, with relevant details. Yeah, I should just have, like, a little post-it that goes, like, in this corner that's just like, this is a horror game. Don't be fooled. Oh, Mode is asking answering the question about the page numbers, yes. Remembering the page number and approximate percentage of the book completed, because I'm not a psycho. That's a good answer. I think I'm probably a combo of remembering the page number or just finding a piece of, using a bookmark. Pokemon Boy says, me. Is vibing. Okay. You are welcome to vibe, Pokemon Boy. I just didn't want you to be, like, surprised when the game gets weird, because I think it's gonna get weird again. Vibing to music? Nice. But yeah, thank you for stopping in the chat. I make a mental note of where I left off in the book, then slip it back into my bag. Well, you know, previously I did it by who would probably be most critical. Oh, I only just saw Pokemon Boy followed. Thank you for the follow. It really means a lot. I am still trying to make affiliate. So every bit helps. Let's show it to Monica first. Let's show it to Monica first. I should have saved before I did that. What am I doing? I should start with Monica. Yesterday, she seemed eager to read my poem, and I want her to know I'm putting in effort. Hi, Hyacinth. Hiya, Monica. Having a good time so far? Yeah. Good. Glad to hear it. By the way, since you're new and everything, if you ever have any suggestions for the club, like new activities or things we can do better, I'm always listening. Don't be afraid to bring things up, okay? Alright, I'll keep that in mind. Of course I'll be afraid to bring things up. I'm much better off just going with the flow until I'm more settled in. Anyway, want to share your poem with me? Pokemon Boy says, I've seen a few videos about DDLCs, so I know, yeah, it's gonna get weird. Okay, as long as you know. That's kind of embarrassing, but I guess I have to share poems. I mean, Don't worry, Hyacinth. We're all a little embarrassed today, you know? But it's that sort of barrier we'll all learn to get past soon. Yeah, that's true. I hand Monica my poem. Great job, Hyacinth. I was going oh in my head while reading it. It's really metaphorical. Yeah, like I said, I don't know exactly what's gonna happen. I would say no spoilers in chat, but I'm pretty sure everyone else knows what's gonna happen. So it's probably fine if people want to talk about things. Spoilers don't really bother me. I say that hesitatingly, because I know there's gonna be games where I'm not gonna want to know. But anyway, yeah, it's metaphorical, because Yuri writes really metaphorically. Pokemon Boy says, I'd rather not. That's probably better. I'm not sure why, but I didn't expect you to go for something so deep. I guess I underestimated you. It's easiest for me to keep everyone's... Oh, that's me. I'm saying it's easiest for me to keep everyone's expectations low. Just write a really simple poem. That way, it always counts when I put in some effort. That's not very fair. You can tell my character has worked a minimum wage job. Well, I guess it worked anyway. You know that Yuri likes this kind of writing, right? Writing that's full of imagery and symbolism. Sometimes I feel like Yuri's mind is just totally detached from reality. I don't mean that like it's a bad thing, though. But sometimes I get the impression that she's just totally given up on people. She spends so much time in her own head that it's probably a much more interesting place for her. But that's why she gets so happy when you treat her with a lot of kindness. I don't think she's used to being indulged like that. She must be really starved for social interaction, so I don't blame her for coming on a little strongly. Like earlier. I think if she gets too stimulated, she ends up withdrawing and looking for alone time. Okay, that makes sense. She just got kind of overwhelmed. Suddenly, the door opens. Yuri. I'm back. Did I miss anything? Not really. Well, we were all starting to share our poems with each other. Eh? Already? I'm sorry for being late. No need to apologize. We'll still have plenty of time, so I'm more glad that you took all the time you needed. Alright. Monica's very understanding. Thanks, Monica. I suppose I should go get my poem now. Shadow Agent is posting butts. And then either sweating or crying? Unsure. Anyway, do you want me to get my poem now? Don't worry, I'm not very good. Oh, wanna read my poem? You sound pretty confident for someone who claims to be not very good. Well, that's because I have to sound confident. That doesn't mean I always feel that way, you know? Because she's the club leader. I see. Well, let's read it then. I wonder if there are differences. I wonder if there are differences between this poem and the last time that... Hole in the Wall. This starts off where the last poem that was her first poem ended, I think? But he wasn't looking at me. Confused, I frantically glance at my surroundings, but my burned eyes can no longer see color. Are others in this room? Are they talking? Or are they simply poems on flat sheets of paper? The sound of frantic scrawling playing tricks on my ears. The room begins to crinkle, closing in on me. The air I breathe dissipates before it reaches my lungs. I panic. There must be a way out. It's right there. He's right there. Swallowing my fears, I brandish my pen. So, what do you think? It's very freeform, if that's what you call it. Sorry, I'm not really the right person to ask for feedback. It's okay. Yeah, that kind of style has gotten pretty popular nowadays. That is, a lot of poems have been putting emphasis on the timing between words and lines. When performed out loud, it can be really powerful. What was the inspiration behind this one? Pokemon Boy! Thank you for the follow again. And I will, see you later, I suppose. Have a good day. Sorry, that sounded like super clipped. Please have a good day. There. What was the inspiration behind this one? Well, I'm not sure if I know how to put it. I guess you could say that I had some kind of epiphany recently. It's been influencing my poems a bit. An epiphany? Yeah, something like that. I'm kind of nervous to talk about deep stuff like that because it's kind of coming on strongly. Maybe after everyone is better friends with each other. Anyway, here's Monica's writing tip of the day. Sometimes when you're writing a poem or a story, your brain gets too fixated on a specific point. If you try too hard to make it perfect, then you'll never make any progress. That's pretty good advice. I think it's the same advice she gave last time. Just force yourself to get something down on the paper and tidy it up later. Another way to think about it is this. If you keep your pen in the same spot for too long, you'll just get a big, dark puddle of ink. So just move your hand and go with the flow. That's my advice for today. Thanks for listening. Alright, so we wrote it for Yuri. Should we do Yuri? I would have liked to have done Yuri first. Let's show it to Natsuki, because we know she'll hate it. Wait, I should save, like I messed up saving last time, and we'll just do this, I guess. Alright, we'll show Natsuki first. I should have showed Yuri first? Okay. We'll load. It's not too late. Okay, we'll show Yuri. As Yuri reads the poem, I notice her eyes lighten. Exceptional. Huh? What was that? Huh? Did I say that out loud? Yuri first covers her mouth, but then ends up covering her whole face. He's going to hate me. Did she say that out loud too? You really didn't do anything wrong, Yuri. Huh? I guess you're right. Shadow Agent is air horning at butts. That is the sadness signal. What am I getting so nervous for? Yuri takes a breath. So, what kind of writing experience do you have? Your use of imagery and metaphors indicates you've written a lot of poetry before. Maybe I just read really elaborate manga. Really? Wow, that's a huge compliment coming from you. This is actually my first time, really. Huh? Just like genuine surprise. Yuri stares at me blankly, then looks at my poem again. Well, I know that. I just meant, Yuri trails off, unable to find an excuse. She traces her fingers along the words in the poem, as if breaking it down more thoroughly. Yeah. Okay. this is the reason I was able to tell. It's just that there are specific writing habits that are usually typical of new writers. And having been through that myself, I kind of learned to pick up on them. I think the most noticeable thing I recognized in new writers is that they try to make their style very deliberate. So this is all dialogue from last time, but I'm scared to skip it because I don't want it to skip super far ahead again. In other words, they tend to pick a writing style separate from the topic matter, and they form-fit the two together. The end result is both the style and the expressiveness are weakened. Once Yuri finds her train of thought, it's as if her demeanor totally changes. Her stammering is completely gone, and she sounds like an expert. Of course, that's not something you can be blamed for. Okay, so I'm kind of, I'm guessing this is the only piece of new dialogue? It's nothing, really. Yours was impressive too, so... Nah. My character's just like, nah. If anything, I could probably learn a thing or two from you. Yuri is best girl. Yuri is very sweet. My favorite girl is no longer available. And then I'm done. I'm done being salty. I'm done. You think so? I'm not done, but I'm done for now. Yeah, of course. Ah. You know, I was really nervous about doing all this. But in the end, I enjoyed it. So can I not? Okay, I don't have the option to skip again. I guess it only gives me the skip option for parts that I've already seen, so that's good. I'm going to keep doing my best for you, Hyacinth. Oh, very sweet. Me too. Alright, so we'll do Natsuki last, I guess. This is the question marks. Yeah, apparently this is new. Wow! Hyacinth, if you're not going to take this club seriously, then go home. Wow! What? Harsh! What do you expect? What, do you expect me to leave that you actually put effort into this? Do you think that I'm stupid? I'm not a writer. Maybe it's not very good, yeah, but I did put an effort. We all start somewhere, right? If you're still proud of the first poem you ever wrote, then I'd like to read it. That's also kind of harsh, but very fair, I think. Painful to think about? Fine. Well, sorry. You'll get better anyway. I tell you what to improve, but you're better off just trying again. Fair enough. Well, to each their own, I guess. Anyway, I guess I gotta share mine now. Knowing you, you'll probably think it's stupid. Okay, so yeah, this is the... I think this is the same. Eagles can fly, monkeys can climb, crickets can leap, horses can race, owls can seek, cheetahs can run, eagles can fly, people can try. But that's about it. I'm gonna click on random things like a weirdo, because that's done stuff. No? Alright. So I can skip through this, but let's see. Yeah. I told you that you weren't gonna like it. I like it. What? Just be honest. It's not weird yet, I'm mad. Shadow Agent's like, it's not off the rails enough. We'll do another save. Here, I guess. Okay, so yeah, it just took us through those dialogue options again. I guess that's everyone. I glance around the room. The music did it again. That was a little more stressful than I anticipated. It's as if everyone is judging me for my mediocre writing abilities. Mediocre? Mediocre? Tears here! Thank you for stopping in! And have a good night. Even if they're just being nice, there's no way my poems can stand up to theirs. Thank you again, Tears here, for stopping in. It means a lot to me. This is a literature club, after all. I sigh. I guess that's what I ended up getting myself into. Across the room, Monica is writing something in her notebook. This might be new. My eyes land on Yuri and Natsuki. They gingerly exchange sheets of paper, sharing their respective poems. As they read in tandem, I watch each of their expressions change. Natsuki's eyebrows furrow in frustration. Meanwhile, Yuri smiles sadly. What's with this language? Huh? Did you say something? Okay, so we can't even skip this if we wanted. Oh, it's nothing. Natsuki dismissively returns the poem to the desk with one hand. I guess you could say it's fancy. Thanks. Yours is cute. Cute? Did you completely miss the symbolism or something? It's clearly about the feeling of giving up. How can that be cute? I just want to ship these two. Where's the game where I play matchmaker? It's just like, you two hold hands. I just meant the language, I guess. I was trying to say something nice. Huh? You mean you have to try that hard to come up with something nice to say? I'm surprised we can't skip this, because I'm pretty sure that we've heard all this before. Thanks, but it really didn't come out nice at all. Well, I do have a couple of suggestions. If I was looking for suggestions, I would have asked someone who actually liked it. Which people did, by the way. Monica liked it. And Hyacinth did too. So based on that, I'll gladly give you some suggestions of my own. First of all, excuse me. And then Shadow Agent just started yelling at butts in chat. That's what happens when you don't get a jump scare for like an hour. You get yelling at butts. And then you air horn at butts because you're sad. Anyway, I appreciate the offer. That's what happens when things aren't weird in game. Things just get weird in chat. I appreciate the offer, but I've spent a long time establishing my writing style. I know it's like kind of bad, but it's difficult not to imagine them just being the kind of like slightly pretentious kids in class who are just like, I spent a long time establishing my writing style, and also I'm like 16. I don't expect it to change anytime soon, unless of course I come across something particularly inspiring. I guess it's also fair that, like, you can establish styles very early on and just build on them. Like, if you know what you like, you know what you like. Which I haven't yet. And Yuri also acknowledges that the style might change in the future. And Hyacinth liked my poem too, you know? He even told me that he was impressed by it. Natsuki suddenly stands up. Oh? I didn't realize you were so invested in trying to impress our new member, Yuri. Can I really not, like, skip this? Okay, yeah, I really can't. That's not what I... You're just... Yuri stands up as well. Maybe you're just jealous that Hyacinth appreciates my advice more than he appreciated yours. Huh? And how do you know he didn't appreciate my advice even more? Oh no, they're fighting. They're fighting and Sayori's not here to break it up again. Are you that full of yourself? No. If I was full of myself, I would just deliberately go out of my way to make everything I do overly cutesy. Shots fired. Ugh. Well, you know what? I wasn't the one whose boobs magically grew a size bigger as soon as Hyacinth started showing up. And now it's awkward. Natsuki? Poggers, finally. Natsuki, that's a little... This doesn't involve you. They both yell at her. Taking out your own insecurities on others like that. You really act as young as you look, Natsuki. Look who's talking, you wanna be edgy bitch? What happens if I don't click? Does the music just get more and more intense? Does the game crash? Press Yuri? Edgy? Sorry that my lifestyle is too much for someone of your mental age to comprehend. See? Just saying that proves my point. Most people learn to get over themselves after they graduate middle school, you know? If you want to prove anything, then stop harassing others with your sickening attitude. You think you can counterbalance your toxic personality just by dressing and acting cute? The only cute thing about you is how hard you try. Wow! Natsuki, be careful, you might cut yourself on that edge, Yuri. Oh, my bad. You already do, don't you? Did you just accuse me of cutting myself? What the fuck is wrong with your head? Yeah, go on. Let Hyacinth hear everything you really think. I'm sure he'll be head over heels for you after this. What is happening right now? Suddenly, Yuri turns towards me, as if she just noticed I was standing here. Hyacinth, she's just trying to make me look bad. That's not true. She started it. Ow. I mean, there's no other choice. We're trying to romance Yuri, right? So, I mean, no, I can't save! I should have saved earlier! It's fine. Is there somewhere else I should be clicking? No. Hi, Monica. What's going on? How you doing there? Two can play at this game. Where is it? There. Just take that. Now what? Okay, I'm sorry. What's this? What am I doing? What am I doing right now? I'm just... There? And then Haya took like 5 minutes to put her joke back. Alright, there we go. Your power is greater. You actually animate. It's true. Take that, Monica. Alright, what am I doing? What am I doing in this game? Hi. Hey there, Monica. How's it going? Hey, Hyacinth. Hiya, Monica. Why don't we step outside for a little bit? Where are we going? Where are we going, Monica? Sorry about it. We're gonna save. We're gonna do a save right here. What was that? Sorry about that. They really shouldn't have tried to get you involved. It's probably better for us to stay out of this. We'll go back inside once they're done yelling. I'm okay with that. Haha. Some president I am, right? She's just... Actually, good point. This is like... These are my club members, but you know what? Let's just step out. Let's not deal with this right now. They're doing that again. I can't even confront my own club members properly. I just wish I was able to be a little more assertive sometimes. But I never have it in me to put my foot down against others. Oh. You understand, right? See, this is the precious Monica minutes. We didn't get any time with Monica last playthrough. Although I am somewhat suspicious of her. You understand, right? Anyway. If this makes you want to spend less time with the others, then that's fine. I'd be happy to spend time with you instead. Wait, what? Suddenly, Natsuki runs out of the classroom. Oh no, she's crying! Shadow Agent says it's a weird time. Yeah, it's clearly. Oh no, she ran away. Natsuki! Too soon today. Too soon. Not enough today. Oh dear. Well, it looks like they're done. I didn't mean it. I didn't mean it. I didn't mean it. Yuri is rocking back and forth in her desk with her palms on her forehead. What did she say? It must have been something pretty devastating. Yuri? I didn't mean it. That's a new facial expression. I believe you. I have no idea what Yuri might have said to Natsuki. Or did. Hyacinth, please don't hate me. No. Please. I'm not like this. There's something wrong with me today. It's fine, Yuri. We know you didn't mean it, and we don't even know what she did. Besides, I'm sure Natsuki will forget all about it by tomorrow. Completely. What makes you so sure, Monica? What makes you so sure about that? Anyway, the meeting is over, so you can go home now if you want. Yuri looks at me like she wants to say something. But she keeps glancing at Monica. You can go first, Monica. I'd like to stay a little bit longer. I am the president, so I should be the last one out. I'll wait for you to be done. Well, I'm vice president, so please let me take that responsibility today. It kind of sounds like you don't want me around for something, Yuri. It's not that, it's that. It's not that, it's that. I didn't get much of a chance to discuss my book with Hyacinth. It would just be embarrassing with you listening. Sigh. I guess I don't really have a choice, do I? I'm sorry for causing trouble, but I really appreciate you. Nice! Okay, yeah, sure. That's a thing that happened. I feel like that's a really good spot to stop, but I kind of also want to keep going. Just see what happens. It already is pretty late, though. I think we should wrap there. I feel like it's a really abrupt place to wrap, but I think no matter where we did, it would feel abrupt. So we'll continue this, when's the next time I stream this game? I think Thursday? Yeah, thank you. Thank you for everyone who, I'm like so thrown off. This game has me thrown off so bad. Like my signing off is always awkward and it's so much worse now. Thank you to everyone who came to watch. Thank you to everyone who might be watching a VOD later. Thanks for everyone watching on YouTube. And yeah, I'm gonna sign off. I'm gonna go. I will see everyone later. Please have a good night. Go watch some kitten videos or something. Good night. I don't know if scared, just like, It is a pretty fun game. I'll grant it that. But yes. Hyacinth, signing off. Good night, and bye-bye for now.